The Return of the Iron Man. Chapter 2. One evening a farmer's son, a boy called Hogarth, was fishing in a stream that ran down to the sea. It was growing too dark to fish. His hook kept getting caught in the weeds and bushes, so he stopped fishing and came up from the stream and stood listening to the owls in the wood further up the valley, and to the sea behind him. "Hush," said the sea, and again hush, hush, hush. Suddenly he felt a strange feeling. He felt he was being watched. He felt afraid. He turned and looked up the steep field to the top of the high cliff. Behind that skyline was the sheer rocky cliff and the sea, and on that skyline, just above the edge of it, in the dusk, were two green lights. What were two green lights doing at the top of the cliff? Then, as Hogarth watched, a huge dark figure climbed up over the cliff top. The two lights rose into the sky. They were the giant figure's eyes. A giant black figure, taller than a house, black and towering in the twilight, with green headlamp eyes. The Iron Man. There he stood on the cliff top, looking inland. Hogarth began to run. He ran and ran. Home, home! The Iron Man had come back. So he got home at last, gasping for breath. He told his dad, "An Iron Man, an Iron Man, an Iron Man, a giant!" His father frowned. His mother grew pale. His little sister began to cry. His father took down his double-barreled gun. He believed his son. He went out. He locked the door. He got in his car. He drove to the next farm. But that farmer laughed. He was a fat, red man with a fat, red-mouthed laugh. When he stopped laughing, his eyes were red too. "An Iron Man? Nonsense," he said. So Hogarth's father got back in his car. Now it was dark, and it had begun to rain. He drove to the next farm. That farmer frowned. He believed. "Tomorrow," he said, "we must see what he is, this Iron Man. His feet will have left tracks in the earth." So Hogarth's father again got back into his car. But as he turned the car in the yard, he saw a strange thing in the headlamps. That's all for the Iron Man today. Thank you very much for listening. Shukran lak.